This is impunity. We cannot accept this, because if you react like this and you do this publicly, how can you ask from the people, from the corporations, from the small entrepreneurs, from the people, the citizens, to be honest, to be lawful, to be under the law? The majority probably will vote again for the Commission, not because they are very, very pleased about the work of Frau von der Leyen, but because of the interest of having stability. The party of Madame Le Pen and the party of Mr. Orban didn't sign.
Hello, welcome back to the Brussels Signal studio. My name is Justin Sayers and I'm here with an MEP, Gheorghe Piperea. Thank you, Mr. Piperea, for coming into the studio. He is making news because Mr. Piperea has authored a vote of no confidence. Now, is it in the European Commission as a whole, or is it in Ursula von der Leyen?
The motion of no confidence, motion of censure, it's of course against the Commission. But my critics are especially against Frau von der Leyen.
Okay.
From the procedural point of view, you cannot have a motion of censure against individually the President of the Commission. You have to have it against the Commission. But nevertheless, it's not against the commissaries, because some of them are very, very very wise and very effective. Like, for example, Mr. Raffaele Fitto.
Okay. But technically speaking, if your motion of no confidence succeeds, the whole Commission will have to resign.
Let me tell you something like in a plane. In the unlikely event of this motion of censure will be voted in the Parliament, all the Commission will fall.
Okay, so you expect your motion to fail?
I'm not hypocrite and nor naive. So the majority probably will vote again for the Commission, not because they are very, very pleased about the work of Frau von der Leyen, but because of the interest of having stability. But think about this. First of all, if something like 300 MEPs will vote for this motion of censure, this means that they will vote against Frau von der Leyen. Frau von der Leyen, we have a real problem. Because, at this moment, the moment we speak, there are some rumors that even the people from Renew and from S&D, meaning the Socialists and the Progressives, have some debates to be done with Frau von der Leyen. But second, and the most important, is the fact that Frau von der Leyen will have to come to the Parliament and to explain. Because there are some accusations there, and she will have to explain.
Okay,
and we don't have this kind of debates.
Right.
We don't have this kind of accountability.
Right.
When we what we have at this very moment is this idea of impunity of Frau von der Leyen and the rest of the commissary. Whatever mistake they will make and the illegalities they will make, there will be no immunity. This is practically what consolidated as a good practice. I don't like this. As a professor of law, as a lawyer, I don't like this. When I see illegalities, when I see facts which are going against the democracy, against ethics, against the interest of the common people, I don't like and I don't like this, and I have to somehow fight.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And so this is why you have launched the motion of no confidence.
This is the real reason to launch this motion. Is not because I want this commission, all of this commission, to be sent home. It is because I need a tribune to discuss, to debate what happened in the recent past with our money. With our ideals, with our expectation, with our businesses, because of this European Commission.
Now, you talked about impunity in particular. Are you referring to certain scandals?
Yes. The first and the most surprising scandals is about that correspondence by SMS between Frau von der Leyen and Mr. Burla, the CEO of Pfizer. You know, in 2022, they said to us journalists from New York Times, we're not going to give you this SMS. First of all, because it's privacy. Second, we delete it. And these journalists from New York Times gone to Luxembourg in front of the Court of Justice and get a very interesting victory. The people from the Luxembourg Tribunal Court says, you, Commission, you should give to these people and to make public this SMS. And what happened? Nothing. 2 months and still nothing. We don't see those SMEs. Remember the fact that a Belgian district attorney, prosecutor,
yes.
The Belgian enquêtateur here in Brussels, started a penal investigation about those SMEs. Because, you know, you cannot negotiate contracts of something like 30 billion euros on SMEs. This is insulting our intelligence. And what happened? Nothing, because some people from the so-called European General Parquet
the prosecutor service.
Yeah, exactly. Decided to get those files from the Belgian prosecutor and to put it in a, I don't know, in a closet there.
To bury it.
Yeah, exactly. And this is impunity. We cannot accept this, because if you react like this and you do this publicly, how can you ask from the people, from the corporations, from the small entrepreneurs, from the people, the citizens, to be honest, to be lawful, to be under the law? Because you are not under the law. And second, I give you another example. Now it's about money, a lot of money. You know that in 2021, they started, I'm speaking about the European Commission, a program of something like 650 billion euros, that mechanism for redressment and resilience, which are in this moment transformed into a so-called national plan for redressment and resilience. And
the subsidies, basically.
Yes, exactly. And the European Court of Auditors said those money were spent with no goal, with no efficiency. We don't know what you did with this money, and there is no answer from the European Union. And there's a lot of other things which are much more peculiar, like, for example, financing NGOs in order to those people from the NGOs to go to the MEPs and to ask them in a lobby kind of manner, to be much more friendly with the so-called fight against climate change. You know, it's about the Timmermans,
Timmermans, former commissioner,
exactly.
Dutch politician.
Exactly. And what happened? Nothing. So we cannot accept this.
For our viewers, this is the scandal involving public money which is going to NGOs who then lobby the European Commission, allegedly according to certain priorities.
So my money, your money, spend on what? On lobby. Lobby to the MEPs in order to be much more friendly with their ideology. This ideology at this very moment is contested not only by ECR and Patriots, etc., etc. It's contested very heavily by EPP, meaning the party of Frau von der Leyen. So you spend money for this ideology and not in an honest manner. The most dishonest manner, like in Qatargate. Which is also another scandal.
That's another scandal allegedly involving payments to MEPs from Qatar in return.
And also there's another scandal.
And
then also there's another scandal about money paid by lobby companies here in Brussels from Chinese interests.
That's the Huawei scandal.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So lots of scandals, basically, and
all of them on the lead of Frau von der Leyen.
Okay, so when did you decide, when did you start thinking, that's enough, I'm going to table this motion of no confidence?
I wait 2 weeks to see those SMS.
2 weeks after the
after
European
the
Court.
decision of the European Court.
Right.
No answer, and I said no. We cannot accept this.
Okay.
Because you don't. You not only break the rule. You not only defy the public opinion, but you now defy a decision of a court.
Right.
And in a rule of law kind of organization of the democracy, you cannot do this. You know, because otherwise you break the most important principle of the rule of law, meaning the separation of powers into a statal organization, like a national state or like a union, like our union.
Okay, so now the success or failure of this motion will depend a lot on the support you can or cannot get from the different party groups. You are from Romania and from the AU, the Golden Party in Romania, which is a right-wing party. Now, I presume you 72 votes, you've had to get 72 MEP. 74 MEPs have had to sign this motion of no confidence, right?
No, the minimum is 72, but
Right.
I already have 74.
Oh, you already have 74.
Actually, when we speak now, the count is closed.
Right.
There is no possibility to add another signature, but it's enough. It's more than enough.
74.
Yeah, 70.
Now, these 74, who are they? Are they from basically from your group?
My group, of course, the majority of them are are from my group, but also
which is
there's
the ECR, the Conservative group, right?
European Conservative and Reformist,
Right.
but also there's people from ESN, meaning especially Alternative für Deutschland.
This is from the right-wing Patriots.
Yeah, and
Hold on. No, that's
the
from
Patriots.
right-wing.
The Patriots.
Yep.
The
And the
Patriots is Le
Patriots,
Pen,
good. Yeah.
Orban, but nevertheless, Le Pen and the party of Madame Le Pen and the party of Mr. Orban didn't sign.
They didn't.
The other kind of Patriots.
Did you ask them to sign?
Of course,
And
all of them.
they said no. Why did they say no?
No answer.
Oh, I see.
No answer. They say, we'll see. We're gonna see. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably we'll vote for this motion, but let's see if you are able to gather the signatures. I did it, so I'm waiting a vote from their side.
Okay, so now you must be doing your calculations. Let's presume that the right-wing groups, they will all support this motion. I'm guessing. Is that true?
I guess neutral will be the party of Mr. Orban and the party of Madame Meloni, but all of them will vote for the.
For.
But you know, as I'm going to tell you something very peculiar, also for me, spectacular. There are people. They said to me yesterday and today, people. I think I'm speaking about three people, at least three people from EPP, that they will vote for this motion.
Okay.
Which is very strange for me.
But yeah, when von der Leyen was confirmed as European Commission President, I understand there was some in the EPP who voted against her, though, right? She didn't have the complete support of her own group, did she? It was a secret vote. Is this vote going to be secret?
No, it's not secret.
It's not secret. That makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. If you remember, there were rumors that actually the decision to support Frau von der Leyen for the second mandate was made by 6 people, 6 individuals in the council. That's it. I was very surprised about the fact that there was a lot of votes, supplementary votes, more than majority requested by the treaty.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, some of those people, I spoke to them, some of those people were not so happy to vote again for Frau von der Leyen, even that back then.
Right, because she did have, let's not say a comfortable majority, but she did have almost a comfortable majority in that it wasn't that close. The first time it was closer, in fact, than this time, right?
Yeah, let me tell you something. This will be not very pleasant for some years. First of all, Frau von der Leyen consolidated her position because of the role played by her into the pandemic's period. And I don't know whether or not people are so happy about what she did in that period, because now, retrospectively, which it's important to do it as a rational people, we see that that period of time is not so, it was not so democratic, it was not so efficient, etc., etc. But now, people from the parliament voted for her because of fear. What kind of fear? First of all, climate change fear, but the most and the worst, the fear of the war, of the aggression of the Russians. So, sometimes, somehow, there are people not very clever, not very democratic, not very rational, not very good-hearted, which are playing savior against an enemy which is real, like Putin, or which is invented, like I'm going to give you this example of the so-called climate change. Invented enemy, savior. Real enemy, savior. So Ursula played this role, played it very well, with a lot of money from our pocket, paying some NGOs in order to buy a positive image for her and a negative image against us. But she played very well this role.
Let's go back to the number of votes you're going to get, because let's presume then that the groups on the right, including your group, all support. How many votes is that? If they all support your motion?
Depends what you understand by the right.
ESN, Patriots, and ECR, for example, to start with.
ECR, Patriot, ESN. This means something like 300 votes.
200, and then the next group.
300 votes.
Okay, then so the key is the European People's Party, then, right? I mean, I don't know. And what about the far left? Are they not very happy with von der Leyen?
I don't even spoke to them. No Renew, no SND. The only group I tried to convince to sign it was the left, because they are very, very against Ursula von der Leyen for a lot of reasons,
Right.
for a lot of projects.
What did they say?
No answer for the moment, but some people from the left says that they will vote against Ursula.
Right, how many in that group?
It's a small group. I think it's something like 40.
Okay, so that's about 340.
Something like this.
If everyone votes.
Yeah.
No, and we're
And,
approaching
and the important
half, aren't we?
The important is what the people from EPP will do.
Right.
Because, when we speak, there is a fracture into the interior of... there are the so-called progressist center-right, meaning that they are fully agree with all the madness and the lies about the climate change, and also about the gender ideology, etc., etc. But there are a lot of people from EPP which are much more conservative than those people.
Right.
And I think that the wing, which at this very moment are being created around Mr. Manfred Weber,
Right.
is this wing of conservative kind of behavior.
Who could vote against?
I'm not sure, but they could. Yeah, they
But
could.
I guess the difference is that this time, unlike the confirmation of Mrs. von der Leyen, which was a secret vote, this time it will be a public vote. So if she is brought down by your motion, those people will be blamed.
Because I am a lawyer and I know how to be decent and reasonable, I think that if this vote will be big enough in order to send a signal to the EPP people and to Frau von der Leyen, EPP people will try to convince her to leave. Not now, not immediately,
Before the
but
vote.
I don't know, in 6-7 months.
I see.
Not to give me satisfaction and not to give satisfaction to the
Do you mean
right.
before the vote? Or
No, after the vote.
After the vote. If she survives, but if it's a tough...
Yep. Yeah.
She survives by a small margin,
Yeah.
let's say.
Yeah.
Right. That will cripple
in a reasonable
her, basically.
manner. This will happen because there's a lot of project of Frau von der Leyen sustained with very, very big pathos. Very, very heavily kind of feelings by Renew, SND, the Greens, etc., etc. But which are at this very moment not killed entirely, but reduced. Think about the so-called green claims directive. The people from the European Union, from the European Commission said last Friday they will withdraw it.
Yeah.
And this made those people from S&D, Renew and Greens mad.
Right.
Mad. Your press here in Brussels said a lot of things about these rumors, about this underground kind of fight and angry against...
Right, they said they wouldn't protect her anymore. Right.
Yeah.
That's convenient for your motion, do you think?
It is convenient because I do think that the European Union needs a much more rational kind of leader. Frau von der Leyen, from my point of view, is outdated. She has to be replaced because continuing with this so-called climate change fight, continuing with this wrong kind of financing the war and the rearming of Europe will go to nothing. Actually, will go to a wall with 200 kilometers an hour, like a vehicle led by a driver with this kind of speed directly to a wall. We need to change the driver. We need to change the driver. Frau von der Leyen cannot be anymore the driver.
I'm wondering.
I am very, very, very deeply interested in the continuation of the European Union.
Okay.
Because for us, European, there is no other chance than to be united as a union of nation in order to exploit, to make efficient the fact that we are a huge market. We are something like 460 million people, and the GDP, combined GDP of all the 27 member states is something like 18 trillion. But continuing with this kind of politics, we will go bankrupt. And you know what, Mr. Tusk, you know,
the Prime Minister of
Prime
Poland.
Minister of Poland said when Poland took over the presidency, he said something like this: we cannot continue to leave our economies to go bankrupt, because when we'll go bankrupt, nobody in this world, nobody, no United States, no China, no India, nobody will continue our fight against climate change. It is us, the only kind of people in this world which could fight against climate change. But to do this, we have to have economy. We have to avoid bankruptcy. And what to do in order to do this? Change the driver.
I'm wondering if your motion might actually succeed. I'm just going through the numbers in my head, because you said on the right, there are 300 votes. There are maybe a few dozen votes from the left group. There are maybe a few votes in the EPP, that's close to a half. And then if the Socialists or Greens abstain because they're very angry, like you just pointed out, what chance? Are you a betting man? Would you give yourself...
No.
Chance? Is there a chance that your motion might actually succeed?
I repeat, I'm a decent kind of lawyer. I'm a reasonable kind of lawyer. I think that if I will get something like 320 votes, this will be a very, very good result. Why? Because the people from the EPP will start to think about replacing Frau von der Leyen.
Okay, but
and they can do this.
Can they?
Yes.
How would they do that? But not before
because
the end of
the majority party in the parliament.
Right.
And then they can say to
force her to resign. You mean?
Exactly. And they can say also to the S&D and the Renew, look, you don't like either Frau von der Leyen. Let's force her to leave.
Okay, force her to resign. When does this vote happen?
From the procedural point of view, it should be at the next plenary session in Strasbourg, meaning something like 14th of July. 13th, 14th of July. But probably they will postpone it for September. I don't know.
And
even better, because during this summer, which will be a hot summer, not in the sense of warm weather, hot summer with a lot of events.
On the streets, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Probably they will think about it.
And between now and then, you will be going around the different groups looking for support. Is that your job?
I will do. I will do this.
Do you have other MEPs who are supporting you? I mean, in this lobbying of the parliament, or are you doing it all on your own?
No. I'm not alone here.
Right, but you have the other 74 people.
Think about the fact that I have people from my group, the Polish delegation voted entirely for this motion. Of course, the Romanian delegation voted, but we are smaller than them. And there's also the Secretary General of ESN. I'm speaking about. Should I say names?
Why not?
No. A Secretary General of the ESN, which led practically the idea of signing this. So I do have people which supported not only the motion but also the idea.
Okay.
The only problem I had was with those people from Patriots, I said to you, but they will vote. Of course, they will vote because they wanted to see this motion signed and submitted
before they joined.
Exactly. Anyway, the important for me is not the fact that I succeeded to submit the first motion of censure in the last 20 years.
Okay.
Because this is a reality.
Right, I remember the one from 20 years ago.
The important for me is the fact that I succeeded to get this tribune in order to speak, to be able to speak and to debate and to gather into this debate other kind of people. Yes or no? Because, it's not only Frau von der Leyen, the person who will have to speak, but also it's about the leaders of the groups. And they will say, I am with von der Leyen or I am not with von der Leyen. So the important is to have this debate because, what is practically democracy? Democracy is to debate. What is one of the most important principles in the treaty? To make decision in a transparent mode and in a closest manner possible to the people, direct kind of manner. What we say what we see at this very moment is the fact that Ursula von der Leyen comes to the parliament and said, "Look, I decided myself to use some article from the treaty wrongfully." To finance the ReArm Europe program with 150
the ReArm Europe program, right.
150 billion euros.
Right.
And the parliament says something like this: "No, you cannot do this."
That's true.
No, you cannot do this.
Fund defense from the EU budget.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, we want Europe to be much more powerful than this moment. That it is at this moment, because we have to fight against risk like Russia aggression. Mm-hmm. But you have to come to us, to the parliament. And what happened yesterday? I'll give you a breaking news.
Go on then.
In jury.
The
special committee,
right?
We decided to send
this is the court
vote,
the court case.
Send the vote to Metsola, and Metsola will sue the Council and European Commission because they wrongfully
bypassed
the
Parliament. Right.
So this is that.
Well, the reason they bypass the Parliament is because the EU can't fund defence. It's not allowed by the treaty.
And just a second,
that's why they did it.
Ask yourself this. Do we need to leave the European Commission to do this?
Right, the European Commission could be out of it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah? No reason to.
We have some treaties saying that defense, it's about member states.
Right.
We have treaties saying that you only can use those emergency funds in order to fight against, for example, pandemics, calamity, flooding, war, etc., etc. Right. Not for something like a program in 10 years.
Right.
What is practically is actually, is not a mistake. It's the intention of skipping the parliament, and we cannot allow this. You know why? Because otherwise we will give up to the most important kind of rule in a democracy: separation of power.
Thank you very much for coming in, and please keep us informed about your motion and how much support you get.
I will, and thank you for your invitation. And I hope, it was very interesting also for you to discuss, because for me it was interesting. Thank you for your question.
It was indeed.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Thank you.